Well, up to 7 out of 10 people experience low back pain in their lifetime. The cause of low back pain, a wide-ranging as treatment options as can be. Here to tell us about those options, Dr. Sean McCaffrey. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
Well, what brings on some of that pain? We were just talking about one instance.
Yeah.
Joe decided to go out when I was out at the fair a couple of weeks ago to do a Facebook Live. Thought it'd be fun to go down the giant slide. The 20-year-old version of me, 30, even 40-year-old version of me would have handled it well. But I hit the bottom of the slide. There's a little gap between the slide and the landing area. My tailbone has been sore ever since. Not as bad as it was about a week and a half ago, but even now it's still sore.
Yeah, you know,
any treatment options for something like that?
There's a bunch, actually.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things you can do, and it's interesting when you look at low back pain. Everyone assumes injury, and really it's the least common cause of it. And that's what's funny, you know, a fall, a slip, a trip. That's the least common cause.
So what I did is not very common.
It's not the most common.
Well, okay.
There you go. But it happens. It happens a lot. You know,
Yeah.
you do see it all the time. You see people get hurt and injuries, and you know, sports and things like that, or working on the farm, or working around the yard. You can get hurt doing things, lifting and straining. But the two big ones that get it a lot of times, there's nutritional problems that affect the low back, mainly kidney function. The kidney is responsible for 1/3 of all low back pain regardless. That's why you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you're like, boy, I really hurt and I didn't do anything. Or sometimes emotional traumas have a huge impact on the low back. So if you have a lot of emotional stress, bills, work, kids, you got deadlines to meet and you can't keep up, all of a sudden the low back just tightens down and gimps up. It's amazing.
That's interesting because you always hear people talk, oh, I'm so tense, you know, when somebody gives you a neck rub or whatever, it's like, oh, they're like, oh, you've been so tense. Oh, yeah, I've been pretty stressed at work, or, you know, this, that, or the other relationship problems or whatever. But you're telling me that even translates to the lower back as well.
Yeah, and if you think about it, this, you know, lifting that shoulders up where, you know, your ears kind of, and your shoulders kind of crawl closer together to each other, you know, oh my gosh, you've had a stressful day. But if you just do that action, what's it do to the low back? It pulls it immediately. So it affects the low back as well. The whole spine, the whole column can get affected by just stress. And so the key is, all right, you got to alleviate that stress somehow. And if you can do that, back pain
you
can
hear
go
a lot
away.
of people talk about lumbar surgery. Is that an option, or,
You know,
or should you try to avoid that?
You should always 100% of the time try and avoid surgery. All right, surgery's great if it's an absolutely last-ditch needed thing. But if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it, because once you get in there and you start cutting on things, now you're permanently changing the environment, and the body has to adapt to that change. And when we see lumbar surgery, especially lumbar surgery, low back surgery, the long-term repercussions of it, 2-3 years removed from the surgery, almost 80% of the time, the pain comes back.
Wow.
The problem comes back around. So you look at that and say, okay, it gives me short-term relief. It may give me relief for a year or two, but then all of a sudden, here it is again. And I would say in my practice, probably 50% of the people that I see for back problems, chronic back problems, have already had surgery.
So the best thing to do is see you guys first and map out some of those other options that are non-invasive, non-surgical.
Always.
And right now, you're also developing a new relationship with Dr. Brown. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Dr. Kyle Brown has joined us in practice now, and this is what he does. He specializes in a very unique concept of care in chiropractic world that's designed to help alleviate chronic pain. It helps pain through the neck, the low back, mid back. It's a very unique style, and this is what he does. So he's had 3 years of practice in Kentucky. He and his wife moved back home. They're from the Decatur area. They came back home here to be close to family, so we're thrilled to have him on board. And it's good for me because, you know, I do so much chronic degenerative work all the time, where I'm dealing with colitis and weird things like that, that to have someone on board that specializes in the pain aspect, that specializes in restoring that normal function and helping people get their lives back, we're super excited about this.
Excellent. And of course, for folks wanting to reach out to you or Dr. Brown, best way to do it?
Yeah, just call the office. You know, 726-0151 is what we're doing, and we're running a special right now, an introductory for Dr. Brown for his consultation. It's a $59 consult to come in, spend a half an hour with him. He'll run his orthopedic exams, his tests on you, and he'll kind of give you an overview of what he thinks is going on and how to help you get your life back.
All right, Dr. Sean McCaffrey, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, bud.
Stay with us. We're coming right back here on Good Day Marketplace.